head roaster for Jewel Coffee Roasters.
And I'm Terence. I'm the head roaster and as well the co-founder of TED Coffee.
We know each other for a long time.
Yeah, very long.
So what are we doing here?
So we're going to answer some of the commonly asked questions, right? So to Shin Hao, so why does coffee taste sour?
So coffee tastes sour because actually coffee comes from fruit. The coffee bean comes from the coffee tree, the fruit of the coffee tree. It's processed, it's dried in the sun, it's sent to the roastery where it's finally roasted, and it comes to the cafe or to your home, to your house, where you finally brew it yourself. So yeah, sour taste actually is the fruity taste associated with the coffee fruit.
So why does coffee help you poop? I'll take this, I guess. Well, there's a lot of organic acids in coffee, so I guess once you consume them, it triggers the effect or make the stomach active.
Really?
I don't know. I'm just just guessing. What do you think?
I know coffee is diuretic,
Okay.
so maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. So that's why I think some people drink coffee and you need to go to the toilet right away after that. So next question, why does coffee give me a headache?
Actually, before we move on to the next question, I think something when you drink coffee it contains milk. Some people can't process milk,
True.
which is why they give them that fast
Reaction.
reaction to go to the toilet. I think.
Probably the milk, not the coffee.
Yeah. Many Asians actually can't process lactose.
Yeah, true. So next question, why does coffee give me a headache?
I've never experienced that. I know that if I don't drink coffee,
You get a headache, right? Or probably because you're not drinking
maybe the
coffee.
person who's
give you a
asking
headache.
this question is experiencing the lack of coffee, which is why they have a headache.
True.
So while they're having the headache, they're drinking the coffee, they think that coffee is the headache. I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. Next question, why does coffee makes me hungry? Probably because of the organic acids again. So increase the digestive rate of the food in your tummy.
Coffee has never made me hungry, so I can't answer this question.
Probably, yeah. So we have another few more questions. What type of coffee keeps you awake? I think good coffee is right.
Bad coffee keeps me really, really bad.
Right. So what's a bad coffee?
Coffees that keeps me awake.
Okay. So that answers. So what type of coffee has the most caffeine? Right. So Robustas has the most caffeine, I guess. Pretty much.
Boosters has the most caffeine. I think it's
Yeah.
generally twice the amount of Arabica. That's why I think when you drink your local kopitiam Manyang style of coffee, it gives you that great amount of kick.
Yep. Agree. What type of coffee is for cold brew? Or you mean what type of coffee they use for cold brew? I guess generally any coffees work fine for cold brew. Probably just because any coffees can be done in any method. It's probably just need to find out how was coffee roasted and what the method might just suit that particular origin of coffee or roasting profile.
I think it also depends on what you like. So, like for example, my experience with cold brew is that if you drink like a Brazil cold brew, it tastes quite chocolatey. If you drink like a Sumatra cold brew, it does give you a slight whiskey-like effect.
Yeah.
And the Ethiopian cold brew is kind of like wine-like.
Wine-like,
So
floral.
floral. So
Yeah.
it really depends on what.
Yeah. The next question, what type of coffee is the strongest?
That's a
coffee with a word "gao" at the back is always the strongest.
That's true.
Yeah. I guess any coffee can be strong.
I think it depends on how you brew it. Yeah,
How you brew?
exactly.
Yeah, how you brew?
So if you use less water, more coffee, of course the coffee comes out
Yeah.
strong tasting. If you do cold brew coffee,
Yeah.
a lot of caffeine, so it's strong as well.
Agree. Right. So which coffee is the best for you?
I have a particular coffee in mind. Something I tasted back in 2008.
Wow, that's 2008. That's very long ago.
Yeah, it's from Panama.
Okay.
Inca or something.
All right.
I got it from a roaster.
2008,
I
2009.
got it from a roaster in Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
Zero defect coffee.
Wow.
Really good. What about you?
Well, if you ask me in general, which coffee is the best? I think the coffee that you like is the best. But for personal, actually we got the same experience though. But mine was about 2009. I also had a particular coffee from Panama Esmeralda. I guess that few years was like the peak of geisha, or the start of geishas, and yeah, that coffee blew my mind and opened up the world of specialty for me, I think, at the 2009 period. So I guess we almost probably had the same
experience.
yeah, with the same coffee.
Made you wonder what coffee should and can taste.
Yeah.
I had lemongrass, jasmine, all kinds of wow coffee like taste.
Yeah, jasmine fruit, no, jasmine flower, jasmine flowers, passion fruit, blueberries. Yeah, that blew my mind.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah. Okay, which coffee machine to buy for home?
On a personal level, I wouldn't buy a coffee machine for home.
True. I would have said it too. Make too much coffee at work, right? Don't even want to
Well, that's
touch
one
coffee
thing,
at all.
because to agonize over
Small details.
small details
Yeah.
at home is just too much. for me.
Painful. It's very painful.
But I would buy a decent drip coffee machine.
Yeah, true.
Something that I
Agreed.
could just take a spoonful of ground coffee, put in the filter,
Yeah.
and start. I would do that.
I think it works for me as well, because I think we just make too much coffee at work, and we just want something simple to use at home. Yeah, or even a pour over
Yep.
gadget.
This can be
Yeah.
considered a coffee machine.
Exactly. Then something simple and not too much equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will for us. But if you ask me what coffee machine to buy, more importantly, fit into your budget. Yeah, as long as within your budget, should be good enough. Yeah. So which coffee beans to buy? Of course, from Ted Coffee and from Jewel. These are the coffees you should buy from anywhere. Just order, right? Agree?
Well, of course, talking for the two of us, yes, that's all the coffee you need to buy.
Exactly.
Which coffee has less milk?
The one without milk.
Okay, so let's just assume that you walk into a cafe, right?
Yeah.
You're looking at the menu, you probably see flat white, cappuccino, latte. Sometimes you see what's that small?
Gibraltar, Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Gibraltars and Piccolos generally have less milk, I think. Cappuccinos as well. And lattes and flat whites will have the most milk, I think.
Yeah, the espresso macchiato has the least, like a dollop of milk foam on top. But if you're looking at the range of like white coffees, between flat whites, lattes, and whatsoever, probably flat whites or cappuccinos will have the least milk comparing to the rest. Oh no, Gibraltars, like a rock glass latte or piccolo, about 3 to 4 ounces of milk usually, or even lesser. But I guess it's also based on the every retail shop's variants of how they serve their coffee, right? So I guess the question you can ask your friendly barista in the shop, which coffee has less milk, and probably they will be able to better answer this for you. Right. How is coffee grown? They are usually grown at the mountainous, especially Arabicas, right? Yeah, simple as putting the seed into the ground. Probably they need to grow from the nursery first, right? So before, or 3 to 4 months, yeah, once it sprouts, then they move to a nursery, then from nursery they move on to the actual plantation or the site where they want to plant the particular tree at. It's usually found in mountains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So usually found 30 degrees north and south of the equator. And this band, this 30 degrees north and south, the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn, is what we call the coffee belt. So along this coffee belt, you will find countries like Kenya, Thailand, Philippines,
Colombians, Panama,
Mexico.
Yeah.
This is generally where coffee is.
Yep. How's coffee made?
It's really general, right?
Yeah. Well, it's as simple as pounding it to powder, flush it with hot water, and you can get a good cup of coffee after that. A decent one.
Make it very quick. So coffee is grown in the tropics of Cancer and Capricorn. The farmers will harvest the ripe coffee cherries from the coffee tree plant. They bring it back home or to a processing station where they will remove the seeds from the coffee bean or the cherry. Then they will do some kind of a process where they have to remove certain parts of the bean so they can get to the bean itself, finally send it, dry it in the sun, then after it's dried to a certain moisture level, it's sent to roasters like us. Whether we buy, it comes to us, we roast it, then
we send it to
customer will buy it and make it.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
So how is coffee decaf? Well, there's a few ways to it. So in general, I think what we can understand from it is using a processing method to actually remove caffeine away. So basically, the coffees have been soaked in chemical water. That particular chemical will just draw the essence of coffee and the caffeine out from the coffee. So after they remove the grain seeds, then they add a certain chemical to actually draw the caffeine away through filtration or something. Then thereafter, once the water that is flavor charged with all the flavors of the coffee seeds, they put back the seeds. Then they put a certain chemical to actually allow the seeds to absorb back the flavors. And thereafter take it out and dry again. So that's how coffees are decaffeinated, roughly.
Yeah, it's usually done in factories. So sent to factories. Generally in Europe, there are some decaffeination factories in South America as well.
So how is coffee roasted?
It's a long question. So roasters like us, we use a drum roaster. So just imagine this machine, there's a heat source below, burning away gas at 200-300 degrees. And the beans go into the drum of this roaster. It turns and turns and turns and turns. Hot air is being blasted through the drum. The coffee beans, they're all being
tossed around in the drum.
Slowly changing both physically and chemically by the hot air and through contact with the drum roaster wall. And oh my god, explaining it so badly.
Alright, so simple. the seeds are green. You throw into a drum that's heated up to very high heat. Then the drum keeps spinning while the heat is engaging the drum, so that to dry out the seeds. So eventually the seeds will turn green to brown, which is the kind of coffee beans that you see on your packets of coffee that you bought. So it's just depending on how brown is it. You want it lighter brown to darker brown or black. We can do it all. So that yeah, that's how coffee is roasted. Usually takes about 10-15 minutes for it to achieve from the green seeds to the brown coffee beans that you see. And yeah, that's how it roasts. But of course, technically, there's a lot of things involved as well. How the heat has been transferred into the seeds evenly before it turns brown, and how long to develop the caramelization so that we get enough sweetness in the seeds. Then we can leave it to another time. But yeah, basically we just throw in the drum, make it green to brown. How dark it is, we'll decide, and voila, then you have a coffee. Simple. Alright, so will coffee make you fat, Shin Hao?
No. But if you're drinking lots of milk and sugar, you will.
Yeah, so it's a good example that he don't drink with milk, and I drink with milk, right? So yeah, so try not to go with milk and sugar, and these are the byproduct of black coffee that will make you fat, I think, right? So will coffee beans ever expire?
The coffee bean, you can keep a coffee bean forever.
Yep.
You can buy a bag of coffee, decide to open it 10 years later. You can still make coffee
Out of it, yeah.
but it probably won't taste very good.
Yeah. I mean, coffees won't expire as long as you keep them cool and dry, right? Even in the fridge, some people do. Why not? If you like to, but it's best not recommended. But coffee has always, what we always preach about is probably the best before day. Best enjoyed from a period, so that you enjoy the full flavors of the coffee beans that you can get out of it, especially from the local roasters, like, you know, small roasters, because we roast it fresh, right? So we want you to experience how this coffee should taste like in a certain period of time. You know, some will list it for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Yeah, just have a chat with your friendly roasters in your neighborhood, and I'm sure they will guide you through this. Yeah.
Yeah, generally freshly roasted coffee beans will taste its best up to, I feel, a maximum 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Anything after is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
Some would even argue that 4 months is a bit of a stretch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if you buy a bag of coffee, if you can't finish it within a month, the hard truth is that you shouldn't have bought a bag of coffee. You should
Just buy enough.
yeah,
to
just
use.
go to your friendly neighborhood coffee shop and just drink coffee from there.
Yeah, agree. Okay, so will coffee stain teeth?
I do know that, I don't know whether coffee will stain your teeth, but I do know that if you work a very long shift, very exciting shift on the bar for one whole day, your fingertips do get brown.
Yeah. So I guess pretty much it does stain your teeth to a certain extent. Yeah. So next question, will coffee make you short?
No,
Yeah.
not a reason.
Yeah.
What is a specialty coffee shop? Specialty coffee shop is a shop that sells specialty coffee beverages using high quality specialty grade Arabica coffee that's roasted to a level where flavor is well represented in the beverage.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. So the baristas take a lot of care, a lot of attention to how the beverages are prepared. They know where the coffee comes from.
Yeah.
How it's grown, where it's grown. And generally speaking, they would try to present to the customer different single origins or blends where customers can get to experience or taste how coffee, depending on where it's grown, how it's grown, can taste great.
Yeah, so basically a shop that you walk in that the person that engaged knows what he or she is selling. There's traceability to that particular coffee they're drinking. You can hear a story out of it. The quality is good or very good, and yeah, you can learn something out of it from the shop, right? Rather than just having a cup of coffee. And what is a specialty coffee made? Coffees that scored well,
Yeah.
80 pointers and above.
Free of defects.
Free of defects. Yeah.
Arabica.
Clarity of flavors from the coffee. Yeah. So usually these are more of the specialty coffee beans. So what does specialty coffee mean?
I think if you take the answers to what a specialty coffee shop is, what is a specialty coffee bean, and you put it together, and I think that tells you what you get to experience of what specialty coffee is. Generally, a high level of care and attention to detail about where the coffee is grown, how it's grown, down to where its last mile, the last 10 feet of the coffee is journey. That is whether it's at home or the coffee shop itself.
Agree. So what is specialty grade coffee? I guess it's
Yeah, we
similar to the one, right? Right.
High quality Arabica coffee, 8 points and above, full of defects.
Okay. So next question. Can I drink coffee if I have diarrhea? Yes, you can. Why not? Just carry on the diarrhea.
Coffee is generally 98% water.
Yep.
So you should drink coffee if you have diarrhea, even though it's slightly diuretic. But because it has fluids, just drink it.
Yep. Why not? Just keep drinking, but without milk, of course. Can I drink coffee if I have acid reflux? Probably just tone it down for the period when you have this problem. Drink less than usual, I would suggest. If you can, avoid it for a period of time till the acid reflux gets better. Yeah.
I've never had acid reflux. So
Yeah, I've known of people that has this problem or issue. So, well, as the doctor says, avoid for a period of time till it gets better. Then, of course, if you love coffee, tone it down for a start, and yeah, just continue your routine once you got better from this problem, right? Can I drink coffee if pregnant? Why not? You have a wife.
So I can't say.
Oh, you have a
But
wife.
generally speaking, doctors have said that a cup a day is fine.
Yep, agree. Yeah, keep it low, 1 cup a day, something, or half a cup. Or we have decaf. We sell decaf, decaf coffee can be an option. So you still can drink coffee when you're pregnant, right? So can I drink coffee if I'm fasting?
Well, technically, if you're fasting, you're not supposed to
Drink, right?
drink
Yeah.
or consume anything. So,
But you can drink coffee if you're
this is a trick question.
break fasting. Breakfast. Yeah. You can. I don't know. If you're fasting, don't drink coffee. And it also depends on the level of fasting, right? Like more religious kind of fasting, or like you're just trying to lose weight kind of fasting.
Well, what I do know is that usually the first drink I have when I wake up, I break fast,
That's the fasting.
it's coffee.
Yeah. So maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. So what's the best milk for coffee? Can we mention brands? No, right? We shouldn't.
What milk is best? Okay, so let's talk about your. I don't know. I think if you are able to if you are able to process lactose, I think dairy milk is the best for coffee. But if you can't process lactose, I think
Yeah.
you just have to stick to any of the
Plant-based milk, right?
almond, soy, oats. Oats is really popular nowadays.
Yeah.
They're all good.
Yeah, most milks goes well. Yeah, just probably due to your habits of intake of habits. What kind of milk suits best? Yeah.
Maybe the question should be answered in such a way that maybe milk is not best for coffee because coffee wasn't originally drank with milk. It was drank black.
Good. Very good. So drink black, alright? So what temperature milk for coffee? What's the best, or probably I guess what's the best temperature for coffee?
If you like your lattes hot, then I guess it's extra hot. Something above 70 degrees Celsius, 80 degrees Celsius.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoy coffees that's about 55, 60, a little bit warm. I guess that's the best for me, but I think it works for. Also, it depends on how the coffee is being roasted, right? So, how do you like to enjoy them?
I don't like this question. I would, if I ever do drink like a cappuccino, I would drink it at a temperature where I can finish it within about 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
So, specifically, I guess it's maybe about 55
Yeah.
degrees Celsius.
On a personal preference, that's what I enjoy. But I guess in
But you like
shops,
to have your cup of coffee sitting there for half an hour at least.
yeah, I need
It
about
has to be that.
almost boiling, hot kind of milk. But then that of course burns away more sugars in your milk, so your milk won't be as sweet.
Up to you, lah.
Yeah, up to you. Yeah. So what milk is healthiest for coffee? Plant-based.
Well, this is the tricky question.
Yeah.
What milk is healthiest for coffee? Coffee is healthy without milk. It needs to be drunk black. So milk is not healthy for coffee.
Alright, there you have your answer there. So which almond milk for coffee?
When you buy your packet of almond milk, you look at the almond milk percent, anything between 3.5% to 5%.
Yeah.
Then you can taste the almond. No, you can't taste the almond. But strictly speaking, no almond milk for coffee. Because coffee just should be drank black.
Alright, there you go. Black is the best. So no milk. Alright, if you ever think of milk, don't think of milk. Right. So yeah, there we go.
But if you really have to try milkless, almond milk is better. To be honest.
Okay. Yeah, I usually have almond milk on its own and coffee on its own. I never mix almond with coffee because I just find it funky for me. Yeah. So I prefer almond milk on its own. I'll drink it separately. One sip coffee, then one sip almond milk. It's weird on the palate when you put them together. Alright, there you go. These are some of the questions that is commonly searched or asked about coffee. And I'm Terence.
I'm Shin Hao. I hope we answer the questions as well as we can for you.
Yeah, hope so. So if you have any more questions, hopefully we can answer them in the near future for you. And thank you.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.